Hey everybody, it's Michelle. I'm going to share with you um, my fun term or example. Um, it's intersectional invisibility, chapter 4, page 131. And it's a theory that people with two or more subordinate identities are more difficult to categorize and as a result are less likely to be recognized as prototypical members of either basic category, and that this can cause a kind of social invisibility that has both advantages, which is less discrimination, and disadvantages where contributions are not recognized. And the example they gave basically the invisibility of Black women in our culture, where they are both Black, which is a subordinate identity, and a woman, which is a subordinate identity. And so those two things together put them in a situation where not only for whatever reason are they less discriminated against sometimes, but they're also, whatever they might achieve might be overlooked and not recognized. So in the book they referenced it as like Black invisibility, Black woman invisibility. So my example is the movie Hidden Figures, the book and the movie Hidden Figures. So just when I read that, that's the first thing that came to mind when I read it in that chapter. And I remember when I saw the movie, I haven't read the book, but when I saw the movie, I just kept thinking, how did they even do this? How did they even get in? What about the segregated U.S. in early 1960? What about that allowed them to do this? I didn't think people could even, a Black woman, a Black person, let alone a Black woman, would be invited in to do crazy high-level mathematics for NASA. But they were. And so when I read this term, it was just so shocking to me because it explained and answered my question. So to give you a little background about the movie, these women, three women, it's Katherine Johnson, Dorothy Vaughan, and Mary Jackson. In 1962, 57 years ago, John Glenn was the first American to orbit the Earth. And thousands of mathematicians, who were called human computers back then because they did it by hand, were part of the NASA team tasked with getting him out into space and bringing him back home. And on that team of mathematicians were Black women. And what makes this historic is that Black women were serving along with white men and white women as high-level computers. They called them computers during segregation. And Hidden Figures highlights three women in particular: Katherine Johnson, Dorothy Vaughan, and Mary Jackson, all gifted mathematicians who served the space program and helped make history. And it's taken 57 years for us to hear about this. My connection is that they were allowed in with with white men and white women, while if the movie was accurate, you didn't see any Black men in the same room with these people. And so if it was true that no Black men were high-level computers at the time in NASA, it highlights the advantageous side of intersectional invisibility. Someone with subordinate identities can experience less discrimination. So instead of a Black man being allowed in, and I'm sure there were thousands of genius mathematicians who happened to be African American, a Black woman was allowed in because she was less discriminated against, according to this theory. But we also see the disadvantages in terms of this story because of their invisibility. And as shocking as it was for the book's author, the media, and the public at large to learn, these women were invisible outside of their mathematical and scientific circles for 57 years. Again, due to the negative side of intersectional invisibility. And I know the movie was very popular and nominated and won some awards, but if you haven't seen it, you have to. All right, thank you.